Call the Captain Park Board, Tuesday, March 21st, 2017 to order. Did everybody have a chance to look over the February minutes?
I did not, so just give me a quick minute.
All right.
I would assume if nobody else saw any corrections, it would be fine to go, so I'd be okay with that.
All right, sounds good. I need a motion to approve the February minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the February minutes.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All minutes from February 2017 approved. So now down to new business, the adult softball meeting.
Softball meeting will be held for our, when people come pick up our material, will be on April 11th, 6:30 out to our Public Works building. Entry fees will still be the same as it was last year, $275 to the City of Casson, $175 to Festival in the Park. League play will begin on May 4th for men's on Thursday nights, co-ed on the 5th for Friday night. So far, it looks like we've had 13 men's teams, something similar to last year, and 5 co-ed, so pretty much the same. I will be going to Mankato this year on the 28th, actually a week from tonight, to the State League Directors meeting to pick up our league material and our information, so I gotta be over there at 7 o'clock next Tuesday night, so, but softball season is just around the corner, and we'll have that meeting on the 11th, so, any questions on that?
All right. Hire the 2017 Aquatic Center employees.
I'll hand this around so everybody's got kind of a copy here. This is all the people so far that have applied, and wages and positions. So everybody knows.
One more over there.
One more? Really, to explain this, whatever up on top, whatever, of course, Josh is the manager, whatever, that's what he'll be getting. Brianna Knudsen, Kaylee Wiggum, Tanner DeFault, them 3 will be our supervisors. Abigail Chosis and Benjamin Peters are WSIs, but they're also, remember, we had talked this a month or so ago, about being the head lifeguards, in case some of these people aren't around on certain periods of time. I know Kaylin's already called me, and she's got an internship, so it'll be good that we have Abigail and Ben to kind of cover sometimes of that. The rest of them, as you can see, the rest of them would be WSIs at $11.25 an hour. Next group down where it says, them are the lifeguards returning from last year at $10.25, and of course you can see the new ones. Them are the new lifeguards that are getting certified and getting everything ready to go before the beginning of the season. To go back up here, Braden Chosis and Abigail. Braden just called me. I'm meeting him tomorrow afternoon at 3. He did pass his lifeguard instructor training, so he is a certified instructor now, so we can hold our own lifeguard classes at our facility. To any person in town that's willing, that wants to become a lifeguard, he is a certified instructor. Plus with that, he got licensed for AED, CPR, plus first aid. So he can recertify our lifeguards that need to be recertified. Every 2 years you gotta be recertified. So he's gonna be in good shape and help us out tremendously. And I think the kids that are working here at the pool are gonna like that. They don't have to go to another town or Owatonna or whatever to get recertified. So that was really nice of him. When he does put on a lifeguard class, or when he does put on recertification classes, me and James talk, we'll have to we're gonna have to set a fee for him to give him a little more money, because of the certification, whatever, we just can't give him his $11.25 per hour, but, we did that in the past to Sam Buckel, probably 8-10 years ago, and it worked out really nice, so, me and Jan will do some search on that, and probably bring that back to you guys probably, next month, okay, in April, so, but anyway, I wanted to let you know about Braden, that was great that he did that.
But in the other aspect there, Ron, all the training for any of these people, is free for them then, no?
Nope, yeah, for the ones that are returning, yes, they already had paid for their lifeguard, you know, and then the city reimbursed them years ago when they became lifeguards. So the new ones, the ones in yellow, they will go out and spend, I think it's $170, I think, to get trained as a lifeguard, and then at the end of the season, the city reimburses them that $170. We make them go the whole year to work here. We don't wanna train somebody and then have them go to Byron or go to another town, and then we get stuck paying for their training. So, we always, as the city does, we reimburse them for their training, even as a WSI. If you gotta go and you become a WSI, a higher grade up, they'll go to the class, they gotta pay the material for the books and everything else, and then we'll reimburse them at the end of the year.
But this should be a good deal for the city also, having someone, I mean, you could pay him quite a bit extra an hour and still be ahead of the 170 or,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, what you're paying for the others.
Big time, yeah, it works out nice for the city.
Just wondering how it works.
Yep. Then going down here to the next group here, starting with Taylor Johnson, that's the concession stand admission people that are coming back from last year. As you see, they started at 9, and then in August, we did give them the 50-cent raise. Me and Jan got that all taken care of with me on that, so $9.50, so we got quite a few returning. I think we got, I think it was 11 or something like that, and then the ones, are the new ones coming in to work in the concession. We got around 20 people working in the concession admission. Altogether, with Josh, we got 46 people. Probably compared to about 56 last year. We got probably about 10, 11 less than last year. I will still take applications for lifeguards all the way up until the season. If someone wants to apply or wants to take this test, I think we'll put something out there on our website.
It is out there.
Yeah, and I think knowing now, I think Jan too, that we have Braden to be able to teach it.
Yeah.
I think we'll put something on there too, that the Aquatic Center will hold a lifeguard class if anyone is interested. That might bring more people, a couple more people in just to do it, knowing you don't have to drive to Rochester or Owatonna.
Might not have a ride, yeah.
Right, yep, so we'll do that too and that stuff, so hopefully we can pick up a few more, okay?
Did you have something with Abigail, you said, though?
Abigail too, she's taken the test too. I don't know if she, could get into the LGI because her, classes at college didn't allow her to take the class because Braden was able to do it. He's still in school there yet. So, but Abigail was taking recertification and AED and all that stuff, so, she just wanted me to make sure that I knew that she was getting licensed too, okay? But she will not, I don't think she's gonna be a certified LGI, okay? So other than that, really, all the names here, you know, instead of going through all the names and saying whatever, I thought I would print this out to you, so you guys can see everyone. The wages are pretty much all set in stone. I guess really would need a motion and a second to approve it, to carry it back to the council for their council's next meeting. So then, the reason why we do this around this time, the kids are anxious to see if they got a job. So what Jan will do, we'll take this list and the addresses and mail out a letter to them stating that they were hired. The council approved it for their hirement, and then they'll be set to go, you know, for this coming year.
There isn't another minimum wage raise this year on these wages,
No,
is there?
not this year, is
Not
it,
that we're
Jan?
aware of.
No, not that we're aware of. I think next year, 2018, there's a
That
possibility.
$9.50 probably goes, yeah.
Yeah, it goes up,
I
yeah.
think $10 is gonna be the.
I think so,
Yeah.
yep, so.
Okay. Well then, how about, we need a motion to approve this list that Ron has here for the employees at the Aquatic Center.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? So all of the employees, motion carried.
Did Josh have an email?
Not yet, he's
Oh,
got an old
yeah.
email from Casson Manorville, that he don't work for Casson, so
Yeah.
I haven't,
So-
yeah.
He did another one last summer though.
Yeah, he probably did, I don't know if I had, I think I
Oh,
probably
I
got
have
it
it.
someplace, or Jan's got it,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, we'll get that updated.
Good, thanks.
Okay.
All right, set Arbor Day observance, April 28th.
Yep, as you know, next month is Arbor Day, nationwide already in April. They always hold, the national on the last Friday, in April, and we did that last year, and it worked out good, and I think we're gonna do the same thing this year, so it'd be on April 28th. We like to, I would like to invite the Lions members again to put in some trees again. Where I'm thinking about, we're gonna put 3 trees is down south of, the new playground modular in Lions Park. We just gotta need to start getting some shade going in down there.
What time would it be at?
It'd be at 10 a.m. on Friday, April 28th. And we'll get a hold of the newspaper to take some pictures. We'll have the Tree City USA flag there. We'll have to take a picture of that. We'll plant the 3 trees, and that's what we are required for Tree City USA, to make sure we have the Arbor Day celebration. So, that'll all be set on the 28th. But you guys are all invited to come to that. It's only about 15-20 minutes long, but, we'll have the 3 trees there, and I know the Lions have been very, very grateful for paying for some of the trees that they plant and stuff, but I thought it'd be nice to maybe get some trees growing around that playground to try to maybe get some shade a little bit down there. It's pretty much wide open, so.
What type of tree you gonna put in?
Don't
Whatever.
plant ash trees.
Yeah.
Ah!
We'll see what Houston's got.
Yeah.
You know,
They're
we
cheap.
usually, we are,
They're
you
cheap,
know,
yeah.
container trees are so much easier to plant, so I'll see what Houston's got up there at that time. So, any questions on Arbor Day? Okay?
All right, down to park signage, Veterans Memorial Park and East Diamond Park.
Yep. If everybody remembers, last year we put up that new sign up down there at Lions Park off of 34 out there, down there on the county road. We kinda talked about it as a board. I know Doug, you weren't on the board. We're gonna try to make a uniformity sign. Look, all of our parks kinda look the same, just that the names of the park will be different and the addresses on the sign and stuff like that. I did budget money in our CIP plan to put 2 signs up. I'd like to put a sign, up at the new Veterans, the Veterans Memorial Park on the west side there, where a lot of people, you know, are either enjoying a movie or they're enjoying festival or a lot of things going. So I'll put it kinda a little bit off 7th Street, in between there, the end of the block of 4th, and then in between the Aquatic Center, so it'll be kinda nice right there, it'll look good. I talked to Todd, we can get that lit at that time. The other sign also would be put back over at, the new East Diamond Park, over in northeast off 11th. We'll get a new sign there with an address there, because, with all the girls' ball stuff that's gonna be happening over this summer, unbelievable. It'd be nice to have a sign, so people coming into our town will know where the park is, and plus in case of an emergency, they got an address. But, I will get a hold of Chris Abel, and we'll kinda get, some sketches kinda done, and, I can bring them back to the board. He does a great job of that. I'll just show it to you here probably next month or something like that. Probably get a sign up probably sometime here in May, you know, something like before June, before the summer comes. Try to get both of them done. So then at least we'll have 3 parks then signed. And then we'll have the, what are we, Meadows, right, Meadowland? Meadowland Park at
Meadow.
Northwest to do. We got,
The one with the soccer fields,
yeah,
the way west one.
yeah. I think
I
that's
can't think what we
Meadowland Park.
call it.
That's Meadowland Park, ain't it?
No, Meadowland,
Prairie
the one
View.
up
Prairie.
Prairie View,
Prairie
Prairie
View,
View,
yeah.
and then we got the
Prairie View.
Meadowland, and then the
Yeah.
Meadowland
Prairie View,
Park
yes.
out there, Lamplin's out there.
Mhm.
So then I think we're pretty close to being done, right,
Mhm.
for parks then, our signage, so.
Are those gonna get backlit? Any of those planned for being backlit like the one at the Lions?
No, and no, they'll be lit on both sides.
Okay, so
Yep.
there's something shining around.
Yep. The one at the Lions Park, and I have to apologize to you Lions, whatever and that stuff, we got the light in, but, Todd and the guys have been doing this and that, and trying to get this tree stuff done, and that stuff.
You wanted the Lions, you're gonna do the Arbor Day down in Lions Park?
Yep, right behind the
Okay.
playground modular, yep. But the sign that's out there on 14, whatever, we have the light, we have the LED light, we got all the wires run to it, we just gotta get the guys down there to get it put up, and so it gets that backlight, so it lights up at night, so. I know that, Mark called me about it, he said the sign looks beautiful, and I just told him, I said, well, when the guys get to it, I said, we'll make sure we get it lit, so.
It does look good from the
Yeah.
cemetery, you can see it good too.
Yeah, it looks really nice, yeah, and it's gonna look really cool too, I think, at nighttime when we get it lit there behind there, so it'll look pretty nice at nighttime, it'll just shine up nice, but what, that's on our radar to get done, so that's kind of the signage. Any questions on that part, whatever? Like I said, I'll bring, some copies of what it'll look like, with the address and everything else, so everybody gets an idea what they'll look like when we get them done, okay? Okay.
All right, down to old business, the Boulevard Tree Program.
Mhm. Old business, we have our Boulevard Tree Program, of course. I'm taking orders, from people, all of our citizens here in town. We have about 23, 24 properties that have called me, so that's a good thing. We have just a rough estimate around between 38 to 42 trees, I think, so far that, people have asked or said that they were gonna plant, so that's a good deal. Pretty normal, we're usually around, 35 to 50 a year, so it's not any extra trees, but that's normally what we plant. I will take the orders again till the end of the month, till the end of, March, and then what I will do is then I'll call all the people back, I will meet with them, I will measure up their boulevards, we'll go talk to the homeowner what tree they want out in front, give them the list, most of them got the list. We'll, talk to Todd will probably, from the tree house, he'll be planting them usually around the first week in May, where the boulevard trees will get planted, so, all that stuff will take place, but it's going pretty normal, and, I got, a good year coming on the trees again, so, any questions on the planting of our trees?
All right.
Okay?
All right, down to part-time Parks Public Works position.
Okay. I went to the council meeting here a couple weeks ago, whatever and that stuff, and I got approval to hire a part-time Parks / Public Works position, person, for 25 hours a week. We left off the 52 weeks, just because there could be times where they may not work that whole 52 weeks, but we left that off on that situation. As you notice, it says part-time Parks / Public Works, so not only, he would be available in the Parks Department where we'll need him a lot, but he'll also be able to help out in the streets or the wastewater or whatever comes necessary to be able to do our job to help out, so it kinda works out kinda nice. Sure, we have it budgeted in the parks this year, but I think next year we'll look at, kinda dividing up, maybe some of the monies into other departments, or in case, he does work into the street department where some of the money could come out of other departments. But this year, we've got them all budgeted in the parks, and he's gonna be working a lot in the parks, but, in the summertime, who knows? We may need him to come and help us, do some blacktop patching, who knows? I mean, we need a lot of stuff being done here in the city, so. Worked out great. Right now, as today, I've got 3 applications in. As of today, I'm gonna take the apps until next Friday. I figured till the 31st, see who else wants to. And then, I'm gonna probably have to set up some type of interview situation, probably the first week in April. So I can maybe interview people and kinda see how everything is. And then, hopefully I'll bring it back here, have them hired hopefully by the 12th, and then, on a council approval on April 12th, and then he could start, or she could start, on April 17th. That's kinda where, middle of the month of April, so that's what I'm hoping, so we can get the approval and stuff. I do not think we have a park board meeting before then. I think our park
No,
board
it's
meeting
the
is the 18th or something.
Mhm,
So I just wanted to bring this up tonight to let you know, that's kinda where we're at. And then, with the council will approve, I know, we'll approve this person then, on the next council meeting at Tuesday or whatever, I'll bring up who we hired and let you guys know at that time. But we're kinda in a desperate situation. I don't know if everybody's heard, but Mike Bolster that, comes over from the arena, who usually helps mow in the Parks Department from middle of April till the middle of October, he got hurt at the arena. He, was changing some big mats out in the front in the entryway, like he's normally done for whatever, and he pushed, I think, a rug to the side, and he backed up and tripped over it by putting the new one down, and he tore cartilage all over into his right leg, okay? And, he went to the doctor, and it was so swelled up, they were gonna possibly either do some surgery, scoping it, or whatever, you know? Went home, a day or so later, all of a sudden got awful sick, real sick. And didn't put two and two together, but he went down to Castle Clinic, they thought that maybe he might have a flu bug, and, they sent him back home. Well, on a Friday morning, he was completely breaking out with sweats, and he just was unbelievable, so his wife took him to the emergency room. They found out he had staph infection. And the way it understands from Mike talking to him the other day, it was, staph infection was already inside his body. He didn't have no open sore or nothing, so when that cartilage tore apart, it spread like wildfire, and his whole, the way Lynn, his wife, told me, I mean, he had it terrible. He was in the hospital for 10 days. He just got out Sunday, and they sent him home with IV and a pick and everything so he could get up, at least go to the bathroom, and then stick IV back in. He's gained 23 pounds in 10 days because of all the fluid to flush out the bacteria. He won't be back, he can't get off that until April 24th, and then hopefully, and they did do the surgery, by the way, on his knee, they did repair his cartilage, but he probably won't be back until at least May 1st, hopefully, or a little later. So just to kinda give you an update, 'cause he does help us in the park mow, so this position
It's coming
is
very
pretty important,
thankful.
isn't it?
important, okay? So,
Yeah.
so like I say, it's, but just.
Not to change the subject, is that a work comp?
Yep,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
we're confident.
So even though all that was in him already, it's still, city's covering all that.
Yep.
The trip cost.
Yep, the trip
Mhm.
for the
To
whole
go.
thing, yep. Yep, so,
Wow,
just
lucky
gotta give you,
alright.
yeah, he is, I mean, he was really sick, man. I mean,
Holy
Charlie
moly.
Bradford, our public works director, his mother's in the hospital, he went up to see him the second day, and Charlie said, my gosh, I thought,
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Scuffle.
Mhm.
Ugh.
So,
You maybe better hold a couple names on that, in case,
I
someone
was
else wants
just
to fill
gonna
in for a while.
I know.
Well, I mean,
I
there's
know.
at
They're
least someone
saying
that
May
wants to work,
1st, I'll
I
Ouch,
think I'd keep their names and telephone numbers.
I think so, so,
Poor guy.
yeah, so anyway, that's really what we update, but that's the part-time Parks Public Works position.
All right, okay. All right, down to, movies in the park, sponsorships.
I will give this to Jan, she knows quite a
Actually,
bit of this.
Liza's got more of it.
And Liza too, so you guys can kinda give us an update.
Yeah, JLH, and then Empower You Wellness, Paula. They wanna have one movie, and then, me and you are gonna do one. And then, is it just 3?
Yeah,
3,
usually,
right? Cause
and
the
then
Lions usually help, or, cause
if we
festival.
have enough, we could do 4, but we have the festival one too, so that adds.
Right, so that's
Yeah.
kinda the 4th one, right?
Mhm.
So just,
And the firemen were,
that's right, yes,
Firemen.
and the firemen wanted the other one,
mhm.
so they're kinda all
Have you
taken.
So the
got enough?
Lions can be off the hook this year if they wanna be.
Oh, okay. I was supposed to go to their next board meeting and present that. Maybe I'll just mention the cleanup day.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That'll work.
yeah. So it's the Small Dog Rescue, is that who's with you or who?
No, Ocean High School Exchange Program.
What was it?
Ocean High School Exchange Program.
Okay.
Alright,
Do we,
and then we just got,
just gotta
dates.
just gotta get dates and then pick the movies,
Yeah.
basically. That's left, at least we got the sponsorship, which is good.
Yeah.
Did we, have we contacted, Kurt yet?
Kurt? I talked to him quite a while ago, but I think we need to just narrow down some Fridays and
Right,
go from there.
but he's still gonna do it over
Right.
with, yeah,
Mhm.
okay. And that fee, we pay him, is it $250?
$200.
$200 a night. So we budget $1,000, I just kinda give Doug an update, but we budget $1,000 for this. So we do the 4 movies, and then he gets $200 a night to put the movie on. It's Kurt,
Albert.
yeah, Albrecht. Yeah, the good relations, disc jockey guy, yeah, he's the one that does it. So, well, good. So then we'll just have to just pick up some, and
Yeah,
you still got that book,
yeah.
Jan?
And I talked to Paula this morning, and she was gonna talk with the Just Like Home people and see if they had any ideas, and,
Okay.
For movies and stuff.
yeah. So-
Should we just like throw dates out between like all of us, or? Yeah, that's the easiest,
Well, we wanna avoid the fair week.
right?
You know, there's always some weeks
Oh,
in there
yeah,
that don't
something
work,
always
but-
going on.
Yeah. And then I know last time he had conflicts with some of the dates we wanted, so.
Yeah. So how about tomorrow, we'll email each other and.
Okay.
And, you know, we'll just throw out some dates and,
Yeah.
and I'll
then
let
I'll call him too.
JLH and Paula and Joe know and,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
sounds
Still
good.
plans on being on Friday though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday.
If it gets so late in the
Friday night.
summer, people don't wanna have their kids out, 'cause
Mhm.
you know, by the time it gets dark, it's
Right.
Yeah.
way too late
Yeah,
for
it's
the real little ones.
9:30 almost.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, the
So-
movie ain't over till
Mhm.
11:30. See
Yeah.
ya Friday.
Then, of course, with that too, remember, we do have Bob the Bugman come up and spray a couple of
Mhm.
times
Yeah.
for the mosquitoes,
Mhm.
just to let everybody know, we do that, I think, is it a couple, 2, 3 times, I think, Jan?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, so that helps out a lot too. Sprays the area up there.
All right, well, we should have that finalized by in
Yeah.
April then.
Yep.
Okay. All right, down to the Just Pick It Up campaign, 2017.
I thought I'd leave that up to Janet here a little bit, maybe she's got more info, I mean, I don't know if you guys have met, with your group and specifically had a date, is it,
I thought we had something set, didn't we?
Did we have something?
I was looking at
First
my,
week in May or something,
What
wasn't it?
was it again?
Last Saturday, well,
The last Saturday in April, it's
April,
kind of.
yeah.
Last Saturday in April, I couldn't remember that, last Saturday in April. Is it gonna be the same thing, like, pick up bags and stuff out here, or?
how do you want us to do it? Seems like.
I know I left a
check
box of
arrangement.
bags last time, you know, and that stuff, but, I don't know, is anybody from the council gonna be involved as far as doing it?
I hope so.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. They should, it's their city too.
Yeah.
So-
The reason why is because then it just has worked out where Chuck, or I think it was even,
Dan.
Tim Chosis, or
Yeah.
somebody always grabbed a box of bags.
Dan Igler is gonna help, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Okay,
And I think,
The last few years it's been Chuck, but
yeah,
Yeah.
Chuck's not on council,
yeah,
but Dan
We
will.
still may help them.
yeah.
Chuck's gonna be gone, he said. He has a graduation in Texas. So he said he'd be gone, but Doug is around too, to help, and,
Right. The biggest thing is just to get the bags for you guys that day, whatever, I mean, I usually bring them up on that Friday.
and some vests, can we get some
Yeah,
vests?
and I throw them up here too on
And
Friday.
I've already talked to, I can't think of his name now, the police chief, but he said
Ken?
he'd, yeah, he said he'd help and get some vests and stuff, and he'd probably help, 'cause he's in Lions Club too, so.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good, so what I'll do is I'll just plan on bringing the vest and the box of bags up here on that Friday,
Okay.
okay? And then whoever can get here to City Hall and, maybe open it up. And then just leave the bags like you guys have done in the past.
go down at the park kind of.
Yeah, the park there by the building is perfect, yep. Just leave it right by our park maintenance shop, and then we'll take care of everything else.
Now, Janet, the, Lions will do the dump road again,
Okay.
so you don't have to worry about that mess.
Mm.
Okay,
All right,
so we got that, so that was the last Saturday in April, so
Yeah,
the
April
29th?
29th.
April 29th?
So are there any other parts of town that need it?
Well, we've done, up there by Quick Trip, gone up that
Mhm.
way, we've done, the East Island Park, we did the Lions Park. I think we did the, 7th Street down here, by the fairgrounds. That fence line is always a mess,
oh, yeah.
so we've just done,
This too, I suppose.
We had the park over here that where they have a line of trees that was full of stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That'll have to be hit by somebody too.
Yeah, we should invite the FLA or FMLA, what is that?
That's the legal club or the, yeah, at the school.
Yeah,
We should certainly invite them.
yeah, we should. Okay.
It's their city too.
Mm-hmm.
Get them started early.
We should try and contact some Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts too.
I was just gonna say that, the scouts would like to do that too.
Yeah.
4-H'ers too, they're always looking for something to do in the community.
True. You know, some kids in 4-H, they can make some ideas, good contact.
Okay?
So you're gonna start at what, 8? Is that what we do, Terry? Isn't that- And then we go usually until about noon and we're done.
It's about when we get it cleaned, yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's tired of it.
Right.
We're done by noon always, so.
Does anything ever go in the paper? No?
One year they did, I know.
Yeah, one year it went, but last year it didn't, and we didn't have a good turnout, but I was wondering if we couldn't. I don't know.
We did it in the newsletter this month too.
Cause I remember the article, it had a garbage can, and it was really cool. But,
Where do you guys meet?
Yeah, 'cause they won't.
Where do you meet? Here?
Yeah.
what?
You meet here?
It was in the newspaper, here.
No, do you meet here in the morning?
Yeah,
Meet at the city hall.
right here at City Hall at 8 AM.
You know, also too, I have my ad in there every week, maybe I'll just put a little something in there that week, just for it, maybe like 2 weeks ahead of time, or I'll just put something up there too. Yeah, 'cause DCI just doesn't do them anymore, like,
No.
Ronnie, if you've got some stuff you want done too.
Yeah, I'll take a look, I'll let you know. You know, we'll have a park board meeting before this,
Okay.
whatever, and I'll just let you know what we got.
Cause I probably can get as many lions as
Okay.
we know where to put.
Okay.
Put 'em.
that's
Sounds
true,
good.
that's true.
Do you guys use like a nail and a stick, or do you get grabbers, or just strictly hands?
Hands, gloves, take your own gloves.
Cause I could supply a bunch of gloves. I might have some grabbers I can bring in, as long as I can get them back, and, you know, for $20 a piece, but I think I can get you probably at least a half dozen to, for somebody that's older and doesn't wanna bend and pick up, and, or.
Look down this way. Why would you look down this way?
Can't see over.
You'll make it.
I'm not
I can't bend
sensitive.
over.
Well, okay, the middle-aged guys are too fat to bend over, but.
You
Yeah.
said
What I'll
this is
do
at
is-
9?
Yeah.
Like beer.
Yeah. So I'll see, if I can get, you know, whether it's the brown jersey gloves, I can get you
Well, we
couple
use
dozen or-
we use the rubber.
the rubber grip ones, okay, I can get you some of
Yeah.
those, I got some
Yeah.
inexpensive ones. So,
Yeah, because if you're picking up garbage, and it was wet last year, and so.
okay, I'll get you, you know, a couple dozen or something.
Okay.
And as for the grabbers, you'll have to just kind of diverse them, as long as I get the grabbers back, that way either I can, if they come back somewhat clean, I can put them back in the package and resell them or something.
Yeah.
Depends on the garbage I
I'm not buying at the Harbor Anchor.
Well, like $20
on the resell.
I'd rather donate the bag, it'd be a whole lot cheaper. Charge the city for the garbage.
Get you some at Harbor Anchor.
That's right. You know they work that way.
No.
All right, perfect, so 8 AM at the city hall on the 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll put it in the newsletter, I'll get it out there too on my little spot, and, all right, anything else? Down to arena update.
A little bit on the arena gear, whatever, and that stuff, they did get the Zamboni fixed and repaired, the older one, whatever, and that stuff. I talked to Howie a little bit about it, and that stuff as far as, remember I was telling you about gas or, LP, and I think that, he's making some calls on some LP, maybe possibly able to work LP, something out with, CHS down here. So, sounds like it's very easy to convert it, like Terry said, I double checked, to put it to LP and, so I said more than likely, I think that's what we'll probably end up doing, to have that as a second unit, as a backup.
That might even have an aperture on it for using LP.
Yeah, I think it does, yeah. But anyway, I think that's, me and Howie talked about that, and I think that'll probably be the best way. We don't have to worry about a pump and stuff like that for that natural gas and stuff, we'll just convert it over. So we're doing some checking as far as that goes. Like I said, told you about Mike already at the arena. Hockey season is just kinda winding down through, pretty much the varsities are all done and stuff like that. Howie is, at our department head, he was, planning for, and working with, Fair Board, what's gonna happen in, this summer at the fair. Don't really know yet, it's kinda sometimes in meetings, he says it's a free-for-all for here and there, you know, sometimes they never can make a decision here to there, but, Howie said that it sounds like they will still wanna have the floor be put in, again, and they're gonna do some stuff there, possibly even a dance or something up there, maybe one of the nights or something, the Fair Board was gonna hold like a teen day, I don't know. But then, Howie wants to have, the floor back up and stuff and ready to go for Sunday evening, 'cause he's got something scheduled in there for that Sunday evening. But, that's kinda the update as far as that goes, but he's been kinda working with the Fair Board to try to get this thing figured out, what they're gonna do.
One thing that's going on that's gonna impact the arena tremendously, the rec center's gonna be down most of summer for maintenance. And what that means to us is we're probably gonna be busy from sun up to sundown, or even, you know, till all hours.
Yeah.
And,
I know he's got some figure skating people already lined up to come in.
well, and he's got a couple of these old-timer groups lined up now, and, we're gonna be very, very busy. Now, one of the things, the way I understand it from the preliminary figures, we did not have a bad year at all last year. We actually, on an operating basis, made a little money.
Well, to be honest with you, Terry, both of our entities did. At our department head meeting, Nancy, our finance director, congratulated me and Steve, this is the first time for a long time that the ice arena made money and the aquatic center made money after everything was paid up.
Well, the reason I brought up this thing about the rec center being shut down, we're kind of in a catbird seed position right now to make some more money for next year. And my question would be, if we make a little money, do we put it in a rainy day fund? Or do you just throw it in the general fund and then everybody bitch when you have a bad year? I don't know the answer to that. That'll have to be decided by somebody with a higher pay grade than me, but I would think that it would make sense to have some funds set aside for, say, a compressor crashing and stuff like that.
Well, that kinda goes back to that same thing, you know, we never have had that meeting yet with the school system yet and all the groups yet. And we would like to, you know, charge rental for possibly locker rooms, you know, for the high school level yet. And that would be kinda put into a fund like we've had before, set up as a parkland account. I would like to get some type of maintenance fund set up for the arena.
That's exactly where I was headed, yeah.
Dollars, something like that would go into that fund for emergency situations or something that would go wrong or whatever we would need.
And if it builds to a certain level, then transfer it over to the
You could,
partners.
very much so, you could.
You know, but have a little bit in there in case something totally unforeseen happens.
Right. So, 'cause there's ways that we can still make money at that place besides just taking ice money in, or ice time, okay? And I still think that,
You still wanna keep it, the mission there though is to offer recreation. It's not none of these are set up to be huge profit generators, so what they're set up to be is a place for people in the community and the area to get some exercise.
And if you can get them to wash, it's a good deal.
Right.
Yeah, if you happen to make a little money at it, that's
Break
okay
even,
too,
yeah.
but I mean, there's gonna be some years where you don't. And we notice that people really start hollering when it doesn't make money.
yeah.
Nobody says anything at all when it does make money.
Right.
Well, I
You know,
think,
Yeah, welcome to my world,
It's more,
right?
yeah, more than not, so that's the problem.
Yeah.
well, I think if the hockey arena could be used by the same amount of people who use the pool, you know, everybody in Casson can use the aquatic center. Not everybody in Casson,
Can
very
skate,
small
yeah.
numbers, you know, can get in it. That's, you know, that's where you get the people complaining about the finance, you know, how much money is going into it and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it's great that we can get Rochester out here, but does that solve our problem? I think in the long run, no. You know, I think you're talking about charging rent for the locker rooms. Well, how about when they run these camps up here? Instead of ice time, let's charge them, because you know and I know that there's plenty of flow going somewhere. You know, we don't charge the association anything besides ice time. You know, we have to look at that too, not to make money, but just to, if last year was a good year, we know there's gonna be 5 more bad ones coming up, you know. And another question, on the grant we received, was $100,000 grant, right? But we had to pay $100,000 to get it.
We paid, the city paid 50 and the county
Okay.
paid 50.
So where did that 50 get involved or come out of our or what we made or lost?
Profit.
Or, 'cause I asked Chuck when he said, you know, that the city paid 50, I said, where did that money come from? And he couldn't answer it.
That'd be a good question for Nancy, because
Yeah,
like I
that's
said,
true.
we're not sure how it was, but I know that the city had $50,000 from, I don't know if it was a reserve fund or if it was some capital fund that they can draw money from to be able to do something like that, because it was a matching bond, you know, and to be able to get that grant, I mean, we had to come up with this
Right.
money, and, you know, sometimes that kind of money just ain't sitting around, I understand that.
Right.
But, it was one of them things that when we went to get the grant and the grant was approved, it was like, okay, here you go, you know, county, city, we gotta step up and match that grant to get what we did. And thank God the city had the money to be able to do it. Now, where it came from, Roger, is a good question.
Right.
But,
I
like
mean,
I said,
they make you 3 years to get a
Right.
lawnmower, and they dig out 50 grand out of wherever. That's, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. And
I don't know where it comes out, you know, there could be.
Comes out of
maybe
my
Doug
taxes
has more
and
to
all
it,
that.
maybe there's reserve funds, I'm sure, whatever, you know.
Right.
Something like emergencies or something fund, and when something happens to the city, we need to dig in and do something, I don't know.
There's monies available here
Right.
and there, I mean,
Yeah.
the liquor store fund sits there with over 400,000 in it, so.
Right.
I mean,
So there's
if the
money.
city needs some money for things, there's money.
Okay.
Well, I think it's one of those things where if I have to fork up 50 to get 50, I'll find the 50, especially if
It's
you
kind
have
of
a
a,
project.
it's kind of a
Right,
no-brainer.
right, I didn't,
Especially the project,
right,
yeah.
I wasn't questioning that, it was just
I
like,
mean,
where does
You gotta put
Where
some
did
money
it
into
come
it
from?
anyway,
I'm
you
just
might as well
curious
put a little
to-
extra on
And
top.
the other thing,
You're
Nancy
covered.
might be
If you could only
less,
pay for half, it's a good deal.
Well,
Right,
right.
stuff that I
I
gave her a
mean,
call.
money's going in regardless.
Yeah, this
Like,
is.
just for 130
It's like getting a
for the
coupon.
board. Cause I, you know, I
It's a good
too am
thing to
concerned
work
about
on.
the money that we
That
spend
goes in the general
Yeah.
fund.
just on tree stuff,
50,000.
you know, like I said, it's,
Because we've been pretty easy on it for a couple of years.
Yeah, well, like I said, last year I know I turned in money after our budget, I was under budget, so there was money that went back into the capital. When you don't completely all do your money, we all know that it goes back into the general fund, you know, and
Right.
that money goes somewhere, you know, so, but. Good, other than that, Terry, you have anything more? I mean, Rita?
I've got much more, no. I just was, my only point was that, if we're having a good year and looking at having another good year, if you just throw that in the general fund, that's probably not a good way to manage the building.
Right.
Well, that's a separate fund because of the county and
Yeah,
the city.
That's
where's
what I
whose
wondered.
fund does it
Can't
go
get just
to?
thrown into a,
Right.
it's an
Well-
arena fund.
You'd
That's what I
rather
was
to go
wondering,
back to
I
the
thought they
city,
had it
city
separated.
cap and then.
All you'd have to do is open a fund that says arena fund and have the city and the county share on the account.
So their funds are kept in their own fund all the way through, so.
That's one of the things when you go in for a grant, that they really look at. When we wrote our first grant, reason we included all these cities and all these school districts. The more government entities you have involved in a project, the better chance you have of being approved. So that's just kind of a good thing, when you see governments cooperating with one another, that the people that are passing out these grants look at that very, very carefully.
Mhm.
How is,
Okay.
Arena doing without Mr. Bolster then?
Luckily, it was the end of the season. And
Yeah.
we've been doing it, and part-timers have picked up a little of the pace for cleaning and doing some stuff, so they've kinda added a little extra work to themselves, whatever Steve did, and Steve's been doing some extra stuff, whatever that stuff, but, Howie also knew that, you know, that by the 15th of April, Mike comes my way, but in the last week or so, yeah, we've had.
What can Mike do though when he's done, other than maybe answer the phone? He's gonna be laid up for a while.
Well, he's thinking he might be able to get back here probably by, you know, first week into May, maybe possibly, because, you know, when they scoped his knee, you know, the technology of them guys doing knee surgery now is really good. His biggest thing is just to get his legs to get swelled down. He said
Yeah.
his legs are massive.
Oh.
That's where, I talked to him yesterday, he says, Ronnie, he said, you wouldn't believe what my legs look like.
I'll bet he's in a lot of pain too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's oxycodone, whatever they
That's,
give him.
that's the bad thing about having the surgery and then being laid up too, because
What,
Then
yeah,
you know what's gonna happen after.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't get out and move around, it's gonna
Yeah.
be.
So, hopefully, we'll go from there, and I'll let you guys know more next month, and see how things are going, but.
He's home though, right?
Yep, he's home. Yep.
All right.
Correspondence, quick, I got something on that. I had a lady, her name is Jamie Peterson. She's ahead of the, what do you call it, the frontiersmen, people that put up the teepees over in the Manorville after,
Oh.
Maryville days, and they have that,
Is that
park, remember?
rendezvous?
The rendezvous, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they have been flooded out over in Manorville, I think the last 3 out of the last 5 years, and they're getting very frustrated with it.
Don't blame her.
So she gave me a call, whatever, and she actually kinda wanted to be in front of the board here, but after talking to her, I don't know if she'll come or not, but, I kinda let her away, because she thought that possibly we could have, during, September, is have them bombard our North Park, use the whole park, digging 40 fire pits. I just said, I don't think so. They wanted the 2 softball fields, they wanted to do it on the football field, and I said, no. I said, the city spends an awful lot of money to maintain them areas and the park itself, and I don't mean to be mean, I said, Jamie, but, I don't think that's gonna work, I said, and, 'cause I asked her basically what it's all about, pertains to and stuff, and then, my suggestion was to her, which I think is a big enough area, which is not a bad area, is that, we call it Camp Casson, it's on the school property,
Right, so
and,
then
so
So I was just gonna
I
say, where the
know.
garages are.
Yep,
Yeah.
where the garages are, and that maybe there's a possibility where the school system would allow them to be there for, you know, their 5, 6, 7 days, whatever they are. And that's just land that us as a city, we mow that property, because we use it, they use it for possibly backup parking for at the fair. They use it for the parking and all the RVs that fall in there for the Big Iron Classic, 'cause it's packed there.
Mhm.
So, I told her, I said, I can get a hold of JJ, he's the head grounds at the school, and have him give you a call. And there's a possibility that I think that would be more of your better area than going to someone's park or someone's town or whatever, I said, because, not that I said 40 fire pits are bad, but, you know, I said,
So when you spend all that time making the park look nice, you don't wanna go back and try
No,
stomping in the
no.
grass that they cut out.
No, so, she didn't say anything more about coming here. I hope I didn't overspeak myself on that, but, I think after you guys would've probably heard her story, you probably would've probably felt the same way, but, that's where that's at. I just wanted to give you kind of an update on that, so. They just ain't happy over there at Riverside Park.
Could have it out at the cemetery.
You know, you know.
Oh, my God.
I just have one quick question on East Diamond Park. Who delegates the time to who gets to use that?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a situation after going to the meetings, When it
curious
break-
on.
when it breaks down to this, it's a good question, Jason, I'm glad you asked that, because, we have, a situation here where the youth girls summer ball
KMGSA.
program, KMGSA, has expanded with lots of numbers with girls, and that includes probably more teams. Then on top of it, we have a person, Melissa Zahn and somebody else that branched off.
That started their own.
That started their own, branched off, that has 2 traveling teams. And now they're looking for field usage, whatever, and trying, and the way I understand it, the two really aren't together, they're kind of separate.
Well, no, anytime you break away from what should be your main focus, that's what I'm not understanding, I guess. I'm on the KMGSA board,
Mhm.
and getting time on the field, apparently, you know, Clint's he works for the school district, obviously, I don't know if he has any pull on how or who's getting field time, but KMGSA has donated, they paid for
The dugouts there at the school.
I mean, they've put in some time, and now there's new teams coming in, and they want prime time, use of the field, practice time.
But
I'm just wondering who.
My deal here, Melissa's team's not getting time.
Okay,
I'm sorry, but KMGA was given to them, you guys were given that program from us.
Mhm.
I started that softball program, our Park and Rec had that program. That program will stay in our parks.
I'm glad to hear that, 'cause
Traveling team of Melissa's, she's gonna have to find out a night where there's no one practicing and wherever she needs to go.
okay.
And I'm gonna be, that's a bad situation, and I don't mean to be mean, but girls softball has 4 fields that they play on.
2 of them are really bad.
They got the West Park for the 8 and under, they got the Northeast, and they got the 2 fields at the school. KMBA has got 4 fields where they play all their baseball. Only 4. They have Denison, North 1, North 2, and and then Manor Park. And then another thing that they take, there's so many T-ballers, they actually go out and use the turf field for the T-ball program. And you gotta remember, girls softball is just girls softball, 8U all the way up to what, 14U?
16.
16U. KMBA takes care of kindergartners all the way through 16. There's a lot of there's a lot of people there, and they do it all on 4 fields. So when girls softball comes, they got 4 fields, figure it out. That means,
Oh.
that means that girls softball can't practice every single night, cause there's gotta be a game played, then you're gonna not have to practice, you might have to throw a practice on a Sunday night someplace.
And-
So, girls softball with Jenny, and me and her are gonna talk about this, because that's what's gonna happen. Because Jenny, when I looked at her schedule, there's a lot of practices.
The biggest thing is, those fields at the elementary are waterlogged.
Exactly.
Anytime they get water, you can't use those fields.
They're digging that up right now today.
Oh.
They're, trying to find a tile, I think there's tiles squished.
Going into that, is
Yeah,
tile going into that
yeah,
creek?
Yeah, it's all squished, they're digging that up right now at the school, as I seen they were doing it today. But the thing is like I say, I mean, I, as a park board, and us guys as a park board, I understand where you're at, Jason, as a board member, want to have the fields for the practices, but we're in the middle. I mean, I don't care who plays on them, I want the fields to be used, but, in general, that program was ours. We all agree here. We gave that program to a girls softball program, we gave all the T-ball, the baseball to KMBA. And that's what it was all about. So, if there's a traveling team set up by some, quote-unquote, some parent that wanted to break off, I think she or he better check with whoever first on field availability before you start committing. And I don't think that happened.
No, because they got another 2 teams this year, so.
Exactly. There's 2 Blue Diamond teams now
Yep.
instead of 1. And last year we did a bunch of
Mixing
mixing
they
it
got
up
in.
just to get in.
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry, that's just the way it goes,
All
that
right.
program, and I will be calling Melissa on that, and she may not be happy, but I'll tell her that, you know what, I'll look at my schedule, and the way it looks like to me, Friday night on North One, it's open. Do your schedule, have a home game on Friday nights at North One for you. That's the only night that's open.
They would probably have
Not
to
down
change,
through.
they'd have to change the bases and the pitching
Yep.
cover for that.
Yep, they'd have to put it at 60 foot and that
Right.
stuff, but the situation is, if you want a diamond to play your Blue Diamond, in other towns, and you get on schedule, tell them that the only night Castle could be able to have a home field would be on North One on Friday nights.
Okay.
Everything else is full. Yep. So, great question. I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad that we talked about that because I just don't want you guys to hear anything out on the street saying, well, Ronnie, whatever didn't allow us to do.
Well, that's
this
what
or
I was just wondering
that."
how it was, you know, last meeting that we were at, they didn't have the times that they meet, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Mhm.
Thursday is the
Yep.
big times for the girls, but.
Yep. So, I mean, it really is, it's really sad, I mean, this is my opinion, but it's really sad, you know, the school got rid of that junior varsity baseball field.
Yep.
And they put a soccer field in there instead. We lost a ball field.
Mhm.
I mean, that took a lot of things away. I mean, it took the T-ball, it took some of the square games away, it took all that away. And then all of a sudden, they had to be put on some other field to be able to accommodate their program. Well, the school didn't replace it.
Right. So that's from day one.
I mean, we still got the West Park Little, it's good for
Okay.
A and U.
It will be good
but-
for
but-
second to third
Yeah,
graders.
you know what I'm saying, but the thing is, at least we built a new field in Northeast to accommodate when we didn't have the West Park, at least we replaced it. You know, we could've just had North 1 and 2, but at least we built a field in Northeast. So I don't know, it's one of them things that, you know, it's a tough situation, and that's great, and this is all for the kids, we gotta remember this, it ain't about a coach, it ain't about whatever, it's about the kids need to play, you know, and that's why we're
Well,
here.
I think 16 and 14U are gonna go to one game a night, one game a week.
Okay.
So I think that was part of what they were gonna talk to at tryouts, so
Okay.
we'll find out.
Okay, sounds good. But other than that, I don't have anything else, does anybody else have anything?
Was the, concession still gonna be handled by the,
Yep, that won't
Cool.
open till June.
okay,
Yep, I told the softball teams that don't worry about the month of
just like
May.
you did last year,
Yep.
that worked well, so,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Is that your boss?
Yeah, we're gonna be about 5 minutes late. We're just
All
working
right.
on that.
Yeah, I
Anything
know.
else? No? All right, need a motion to adjourn.
Next meeting is May.
Oops, I'm sorry, next meeting is April 18th, 2017. All right, we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. So what grade is
Have a good
Melissa
night.
doing?
Yep, see you, Jim.
Prior to-
What grade is Melissa doing?
She's doing the 14U, I think.
And maybe a break for that.
14U, and they call them the blue
Last weekend,
diamonds.
everybody was like.
I mean, I adore